This is the Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation. Sa bagong Pilipinas.
Having been presented, let a writ of summons be issued to the Vice President. She is directed to appear before the session hall of the Senate of the Philippines upon notice.
Tonight's headlines. As the Senate convenes as an impeachment court for VP Sara Duterte's impeachment trial, committee chairmanships are reshuffled with the several senators from the majority bloc taking over.
The Ombudsman confirms it has received the resolution of the Department of Justice on the flood control anomaly.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. visits Makati and Mandaluyong, bringing financial support to barangays.
And P-pop sensation BINI has been recognized by the House of Representatives. All these and more here on 13 News.
Good evening, I am William Thio. We are bringing you the day's top stories that shape the country, straightforward, clear, and concise.
I'm Angela C. Under one flag with 3 mandates to inform, explain, and empower the nation. This is 13 News.
The Senate has formally convened as an impeachment court for the trial of Vice President Sara Duterte, with senators taking their oaths and a writ of summons now served.
Meanwhile, amid talks of a possible leadership shakeup, the chamber moved forward with no changes in Senate leadership. IBC News correspondent Danielle Malalastas filed this report.
With 23 senator judges present, the chair declares the presence of a quorum.
The Senate has formally convened as an impeachment court for the upcoming trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. All senators present, including the presiding officer, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, have taken their oath. As expected, Senator Bato de la Rosa was absent. Tonight, the articles of impeachment have been referred to the Senate Committee on Rules. A writ of summons has already been sent to VP Sara, requiring her response on the court's scheduled date.
Let a writ of summons be issued to the Vice President, Sara Zimmerman Duterte, who is directed to file her answer within a non-extendable period of 10 days from receipt. She is directed to appear before the session hall of the Senate of the Philippines upon notice.
The House prosecution team may also file replies and pleadings. House prosecutors earlier insist there is no reason to delay the Senate's action on the case.
Sa Senado, get your act together. Nasa inyo na yung articles of impeachment, constitutional duty nyo, ang kagyat na pagdinig dito. So hindi dapat na gawing hadlang ang bangayan sa politika. Binabantayan kayo ng buong taong bayan.
Malacanang meanwhile stood firm that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will not interfere in the proceedings. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro stressed the President's hands are tied in respect to the separation of powers between legislative and executive branches. But the palace expressed hope senators will fulfill their mandate.
Ang dapat na managot, ayon nga sa Pangulo, ay dapat na managot. So, wag na lamang siguro maging daan ang sinuman sa pagtakas ng mga dapat na managot.
Before the convening, rumors of a leadership shakeup circulated following controversies. However, the session adjourned without any change in leadership. SP Cayetano remains in position. Daniel Malalastas, IBC News.
Following last week's Senate leadership change, some senators are now appointed as new committee chairpersons. Senator Lauren Legarda will now chair the Basic Education Committee while retaining the Culture and the Arts Committee. Senator Pia Cayetano retains both of her previous chairmanships, while Senator Bongo will once again chair the Health Committee and retain the Sports Committee chairmanship. Senator Joel Villanueva will now chair the Higher Education Committee, while Senator Jinggoy Estrada leads the Games and Amusement Committee and the National Defense and Security Committee. Lastly, Senator Rodante Marcoleta heads the Public Services Committee, while Senator Robin Padilla retains his previous chairmanships. While some committee chairmanships remain in review, the Senate also elected Attorney Jose Luis Montales as its new secretary. Montales succeeds outgoing Secretary Mark Landro Mendoza, where Mendoza said his resignation was unrelated to the events that happened in the Senate last week.
Meanwhile, the Ombudsman has confirmed receipt of the official resolution from the Department of Justice regarding flood control project anomalies. The resolution names several former high-ranking DPWH officials, including former DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan, former Undersecretaries Catalina Cabral and Roberto Bernardo, and former DPWH Engineer Henry Alcantara. Among the charges recommended by the DOJ are plunder, direct bribery, and violations of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. emerged as the country's highest-rated government official in the latest nationwide Boses ng Bayan survey. The president posted the highest index of governance score at 57%, 2% higher than House Speaker Boji D, followed by Vice President Sara Duterte at 54%. The president garnered a trust rating of 56% and an approval rating of 58%. According to RPMD, Marcos Jr.'s numbers reflected sustained public confidence in the administration, particularly in Luzon.
In other news, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. personally led the rollout of financial support for barangays in Makati and Mandaluyong. He also spearheaded the rice distribution to residents as he vowed that government support for vulnerable sectors will continue despite political turmoil. The full details from IBC News correspondent Harley Valbuena.
Amid the political noise in the country, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. assured that the government continues to work and implement programs that provide relief to Filipinos.
Ang inyong pamahalaan ay hindi po natutulog, hindi po nagbabakasyon kung hindi walang ginawa, kundi mag-isip ng paraan kung ano ang pangangailangan ng ating ng taong bayan, kung ano ang pangangailangan ng ating mga naghihirap na kababayan.
During the Bawat Bayan Makikinabang program in Makati City, 23 barangays received 200,000 pesos in financial assistance under the Social Civic Projects Fund. Half of this amount will be allotted as educational support for 115 presidential scholars in the city.
When your country calls for your duty to the country, it is important that you are very ready, and that is why it is important that you get a good education. Kaya naman yan ang ating ginagawa.
Ikinatutuwa po namin dito sa Makati na dala-dala pa rin ninyo hanggang ngayon ang tunay na malasakit para sa bawat Pilipino, pamilyang Pilipino.
Meanwhile, a total of 13,571 families in Makati will receive 10 kilos of rice every 2 months for 1 year through the local government support fund. At the Bawat Bayan Makikinabang in Mandaluyong City, 27 barangays were also granted 200,000 pesos in financial aid, while 135 presidential scholars received educational assistance. In addition, 10 kilos of rice were distributed to around 1,000 tricycle and jeepney drivers in the city.
Kinalakihan na yun kasi bawas-bawasan ang pagpili. Kasi alam naman natin na mahal ang gasolina, is kahit pa paano po talagang gumagawa ng kaparaan ng ating gobyerno na matulungan po ang hanin ng TODA.
President Marcos Jr. also inspected the Tejeros Health Center in Makati, and the Mandaluyong Medical Center to ensure that residents, especially senior citizens, benefit from improved healthcare services. Harley Valbuena, IBC News.
The National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, or NGCP, once again placed the Visayas power grid under a yellow alert status. The Visayas region was under yellow alert earlier from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. due to the increased power demand and insufficient operating margin, leading to potential rotational brownouts. Amid the rotational brownouts nationwide, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has ordered the immediate resolution to repair all affected power transmission lines to restore stable power supply. The Department of Energy is already coordinating with power generating companies to ensure that all power grids will be back to normal. On the other hand, the NGCP will submit a technical and incident report to determine any possible deficiencies in the outages.
Under the directive of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., to immediately stabilize grid conditions and protect consumers from power disruptions, the DOE swiftly ordered NGCP's restoration of affected transmission lines, actively work with generating companies to safely synchronize affected supplies capacities back on the grid.
When we return, Senator Robin Padilla believes Senator Bato de la Rosa will not leave the country amid ICC arrest. Stay tuned. This is 13 News.
Pangarap mong maging milyonaryo? Sa PCSO Lotto, magkakatotoo! Mas pinasaya, mas pinabongga, mas pinalaki ang mga jackpot prizes. Araw-araw ang bola, kaya more chances of winning sa PCSO Lottery Draws. Lunes hanggang Linggo, tuwing 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m. Balitang nakala.
Mamulat ng kanyang mga si Presidente at si
Binantayan. Sinuri. Nilatag at inihayag. 13 sa tanghali. Kasama sina Greg Gregorio, Naj Miravalles at Zai Chua. 13 sa tanghali sa ganap na alauna dito sa IBC 13. Are you ready to open your mind? We're tackling topics others won't.
There should always be that collaboration between families, the communities, the school.
Most of the household, ayaw nilang pag-usapan anything about sex.
Or parang parang na-attract sila dun sa industry namin na tigil yan.
It's time to stop the stigma and start the science.
Because here on Naked Minds, we break the silence.
Naked Minds, every Friday, 10 p.m. on IBC 13.
What is the big vision here?
Hard-hitting.
Migration is a choice and not a necessity.
The goal of IOM and the goal of the Marcos government is really to make migration a choice. But is that a realistic aspiration, or is it more of like just a positive spin?
Critical.
How did this affect the people in Bahrain?
An OFW has no job security.
In-depth. Catch the Commission on Filipinos Overseas Chairman Dante Kling-An as he uncovers key initiatives shaping public welfare and national development. Chairman's Report. every Friday at 7 p.m.
Flavors worth craving. Stories made to inspire. Restaurant every Friday at 4 p.m. on IBC 13.
Senator Bato de la Rosa was the only absentee as the Senate convened for VP Sara's impeachment trial. Amid questions surrounding his whereabouts, fellow Senator Robin Padilla declined to comment on reports that he escorted de la Rosa out of the Senate. More details in this report.
Senator Bato de la Rosa was the lone absentee as the Senate convened for the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte today. Reports say he left the Senate early Thursday morning last week following a shooting incident inside the chamber. In plenary, Senator Robin Padilla, an ally of Bato, was asked if he escorted the senator out, but he declined to answer, saying the investigation should proceed first.
Totoo yung naya, hindi totoo yung
You were placed.
Bakit, sir? Mahal niya ang Pilipino.
De la Rosa is among those identified as co-perpetrators in former President Rodrigo Duterte's drug war. The Department of Justice has earlier affirmed the validity of the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant against him. He has petitioned the Supreme Court to block its enforcement, but the Office of the Solicitor General urged dismissal, citing lack of merit.
Right now, we are confident in our present draft of our reply to such comment.
The palace, meanwhile, urged De La Rosa to face the allegations directly.
Bilang dating PNP chief at alam naman po niya na may valid warrant of arrest na inisyong ICC at katulad ng sinasabi dati ni Senator Robin Padilla, kung walang kasalanan, lumabas.
Malacanang also stressed the Senate was never under attack, contrary to claims by some lawmakers.
It was only the statement made by Senator Alan Cayetano. So as far as we are concerned, as far as the government is concerned, Senate was never under attack.
Meanwhile, NBI driver volunteer Mel Oragon has posted bail after being arrested in connection with the Senate shooting. Police confirmed he tested positive for gunpowder residue, but clarified this does not automatically prove he fired a weapon. Cristal Ramizares, IBC News.
Uphold loyalty to the Constitution. This was President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s reminder to graduating cadets of the Philippine Military Academy, or PMA. During the commencement exercises of the PMA Talang Dangal class of 2026 in Baguio City, the President urged the graduates to place their loyalty first to the country, not on political interests or personalities. The President also encouraged the new officers to leverage technology while granting the traditional pardon to all cadets as they enter military service.
Remember that your loyalty is not to any political interest, not to any individual, nor any passing ideology. Your loyalty must always remain with the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. Never lie, never cheat, never steal, and never tolerate those who do. Because silence in the face of wrongdoing is a betrayal of your values, a betrayal of your country.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has appointed Kim Robert De Leon as the new Secretary of the Department of Budget and Management, or DBM. Malacanang described De Leon as the youngest DBM chief in history at 32 years old and the youngest cabinet member. De Leon previously served as Undersecretary to the DBM and Department of Transportation. He is currently an assistant professor at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, known for his work in fiscal management, organizational reform, and digital transformation. Meanwhile, outgoing DBM Acting Secretary Rolando Toledo will be appointed to the Board of Trustees of the Government Service Insurance System, or GSIS. In an official statement, Toledo expresses his support for the new DBM chief and for the institution he served for nearly 4 decades. He assured that the DBM will remain committed to being transparent and people-centered to the Filipinos.
The Department of Health reaffirmed that the country's border control stands ready amid the global declaration of an Ebola epidemic. Today, the DOH joined the emergency briefing of the World Health Organization with health ministers from the Western Pacific region member states. This follows the WHO's earlier declaration of the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda as public health emergency of international concern. As of the 16th of May, around 246 cases and 80 suspected deaths were reported across Africa. The DOH assured the declaration is no cause for alarm and it is heightening surveillance to ensure the virus will not enter the country.
Sa ating mga kababayan, wala po tayong dapat ikabahala dito sa Declaration ng Public Health Emergency of International Concern. Malayo po ang Africa at tataasan po natin ang bantay sa ating mga borders to make sure hindi makapasok ang Ebola sa ating bansa.
When we return, a deadly earthquake struck southern China. Don't go away. This is 13 News.
Pangarap mong maging milyonaryo? Sa PCSO Lotto, magkakatotoo. Mas pinasaya, mas pinabongga, mas pinalaki ang mga jackpot prizes. Araw-araw ang bola, kaya more chances of winning sa PCSO Lottery Draws. Lunes hanggang Linggo, tuwing 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m.
A 5.2 magnitude earthquake struck southern China. Several buildings collapsed, killing at least 2 people. This and other developments across the globe from Holy Bakay's report.
While mid-air, 2 U.S. fighter jets collide. 4 crew members were seen ejecting from the aircraft. The incident occurred on the final day of Idaho's air show. All crew members are now in stable condition. A 5.2 magnitude earthquake struck southern China overnight, causing the collapse of more than a dozen buildings. Local authorities said at least 2 people were killed, while 1 remains missing. Around 7,000 residents have been evacuated. Just a week after returning from China, U.S. President Donald Trump warned Iran that clock is ticking as negotiations to end the Middle East conflict stall. He threatened that Tehran won't have anything left if it fails to act. He is scheduled to meet with top national security officials tomorrow. This comes after recent attacks in the United Arab Emirates damaged an electric generator at a nuclear power plant. Meanwhile, Iran's Foreign Ministry reiterated its resistance to U.S. pressure.
As I have repeatedly stated, there is no such thing as a military solution to anything related to Iran. We Iranians never bow to any pressure or threat.
It even said that Iran is open to China's support in resolving the war. Holy Bakay, IBC News.
P-pop sensation BINI was formally recognized at the House of Representatives today. The 8-member group stood before the chamber as resolution number 1001 was adopted, recognizing their global contribution and achievement. According to the House, BINI's appearance at Coachella Music Festival reflects the growing international reach of Filipino artists. Last May 5, the Senate commended the group's milestone under Resolution number 370.
Here are the results of the 9 p.m. draws from the PCSO. For the Mega Lotto 645, the winning numbers are 39, 24, 7, 4, 37, and 23 with a jackpot price of 15,451,056 pesos and 13 centavos. For the Grand Lotto 655, the winning combination is 47, 44, 26, 29, 38, and 51 with a jackpot price of 110,063,860 pesos and 4 centavos. For the 4D Lotto, the winning combination in exact order is 1, 1, 1, and 2. For the 3D Lotto, the winning numbers are 9, 3, and 1. And finally, for the 2D draw, the winning numbers are 29 and 17. There is no winner for the Mega Lotto 645 and Grand Lotto 655. Heads up, motorists, another oil price is indeed expected tomorrow, May 19. Prices of gasoline will climb to 1 peso and 21 centavos per liter and diesel by 2 pesos and 82 centavos. Meanwhile, kerosene will see a rollback of around 2 pesos and 11 centavos per liter. Well, Angela, that basically starts our week. So we're going to have a little bit of a rollback in some and a little price hike in some. So
I think it's important
balance.
also to plan our trips accordingly.
Yes. Right, and also with the energy crisis, I think it's also our responsibility to do our share to just conserve, don't you think?
Yes, agree.
Yes, and those were the latest from the IBC Newsroom this evening.
We'll continue to monitor the stories that matter and bring you updates as they develop. I'm Angela C.
And I'm William Thio. This is 30 News. Good evening, everyone.